Hello, it's Davy Mooney coming to you from UNT, where I run the jazz guitar program. Benedetto artist, Sunnyside Records artist. Got 5 Sunnyside records, CDs really, including Way Back, the new one, y'all, my favorite of the bunch. 2 Mel Bay books, Into the Labyrinth, An Anatomy of Position Playing for Jazz Guitar, Personalizing Jazz Vocabulary, and it's, what is it, I think it's March 1st here at UNT, so again, right in the thick of it here at spring 2024 semester. What's been going on? You know, hockey season is over for the Texas Tigers anyway. Dallas Stars are doing pretty well. And you know, I'm just doing my thing, playing some gigs, teaching a lot of tunes, including what I want to talk about today, great Herbie Hancock song called Tell Me a Bedtime Story. And I realized I don't think I've done any Herbie compositions. I've done a lot of Wayne Shorter tunes and various other composers. And yeah, this song is so complex and beautiful, and man, it's kind of kicking my butt, y'all. I have to say, like, usually when I do the the takes for these videos of me improvising on the song, I found a good backing track on YouTube. But it took me a lot of takes to get one that I liked on this song. And it almost reminded me of, I just got done doing a video revisiting Anna Maria after a couple of years of teaching it regularly. And I feel like I might return to this one at some point if I get it into the improv syllabus and start working on it. I work on it with students this past couple semesters, but I feel like I need some years. It's one of those songs that I think it takes some years of playing it to really get it down, but I did my best, and I'm going to do my best talking about it today because I'm very fascinated by it. And I think I first played this tune back in the 90s, the UNO Guitar Ensemble with Steve Mazikowski. I was a student at NOCA at the time, so I was in high school, and it was great. Hank Mackey got me into that guitar ensemble. I think I did it for 3 semesters, and I remember one time we played this tune, and I don't think I soloed on it really. I don't remember that much of it, just thinking like, wow, that's a really complicated song, and it changes meters. There's like a 5/8, 5/4 section. So yeah, and it's from Herbie's record, Fat Albert Rotunda, like 69. So right in that era of The Prisoner and Speak Like a Child, and the really like lush, like horn charts, and very sensual Herbie tunes, but so complex, like the harmony and the rhythms and the melody, everything is very complex. So right off the bat, there's this intro where he's got G major 7, but the melody goes. So the first couple notes, you have an A natural and an A flat or a G sharp on a G major 7 chord to an F sharp minor 7. And it's crazy how when you hear it, it doesn't sound like a wrong note. But then sometimes when you play it and you just see it on the page, you're like, huh? Like, could that really be the note? And I've been thinking about that a lot. And I think it's because the tune is sort of in the key of B eventually, because they have this ostinato. It seems like B is where it ends up after a while. Sorry, I'm going to need to change my 7th string, which I do like once every 2 years. But so yeah, I think that G sharp is maybe from the key that you eventually get to, and of course it's also the 9 of F sharp minor 7, F sharp minor 9, the chord after it. So that's the intro. So right away you're like, it's beautiful, but there's this mysterious kind of dissonance in there. I like to do that too. I like to put G sharps on G chords, or like I think of them as like sharp 15 intervals on a major 7 chord, because I kind of feel like as you get to the higher extensions, if you're arpeggiating, say, G major 7, and you go root 3rd, 5th, major 7, 9, sharp 11, 13, I kind of feel like the next note is sharp 15 rather than G in that higher octave. And I have a tune called Swing Set, where I try to get away with the same kind of thing. But anyway, that's just the intro. And then it hangs on F sharp minor 7 There's kind of either a 5/4 bar or it's a fermata. I don't know what the original music they were looking at looked like, but you have this like 1, 2, 3, 5, and then the tune itself proper starts like you have G major 7 to F sharp minor 7, G major 7, sharp 11, F sharp minor 7, C major 7, C Lydian. Then you have this. That's even a crazy part right there, because you have this ostinato. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Maiden Voyage, but it's basically and of 4, and of 2, 4, 2. So. But the melody, you have that F sharp at the top. The first, it happens twice in this part of the song. So you have like F sharp, it matches the rhythm, and then the second time the rhythm doesn't match the hits. So it's kind of like tricky to play if you're playing, say, guitar trio or guitar duo with your student. You have to tell them, don't go with me when I play the melody, and I won't go with you when you play the melody there. And I found some other versions where maybe that's a little bit less rhythmically dissonant. What? I don't know. I was trying to think of a term to describe it. Like, they don't necessarily follow that exactly. Maybe they make the hits line up with the melody a little bit more. I'm trying to think. I was just listening to a bunch of versions. Once you go into streaming services, you realize there's this long list of recordings of this song. Whereas, in my era, there was like you had a CD or something or a tape, and you weren't aware of like every single version that ever happened. But like, for instance, Robert Glasper's version is really nice from Art Science. It's really cool. He's got like the vocoder, kind of like reference to a little later Herbie in the 70s. It's really cool with lyrics, and it really gets the vibe, and Glasper takes a great solo on the song. Also, finger painting Christian McBride and Mark Whitfield, and Nicholas Payton's on that album, but he's not on this track. And man, that's intense, because they do such a real like clean sound version of it. They don't have any of the like reverbs and Fender Rhodes vibe, and they hit it too. They improvise. I feel like Whitfield improvises on the first half and McBride on the second half. But anyway, so that's the first part of the song. You got G major 7, sharp 11. The melody's real bluesy with those crazy harmonies. To C sharp 7 sharp 9 with this crazy melody. C major 7, sharp 11. So it's kind of like a B section, I guess. And then you have that same ostinato again, or almost like a second A in a certain sense, but the chords are different. And you have this thing again. You have like a B7 sus, and then an A7 sus that sometimes kind of hits on 4. It's a little bit unclear. And at one point in Herbie solo, he makes it a B Phrygian. Sorry, I messed up the melody. So you have like B7 sus, A7 sus, G sharp minor 7, and kind of E minor 7, and then you kind of go to 5/8 or 5/4. I've seen charts where it's written as 5/4, but I think of it as 5/8 because the rhythm is very much like. Like 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3, like 2 measures of 5/8. way, but I mean, you could, depends on how you want to write it out, you know. But it's like D flat, minor 11, kind of E flat, minor 11, so. Back to G major 7, so kind of like another A. So maybe it's kind of A-A-B-A in an interesting sort of way, where the A's are 12 bars. Yeah, I think you could call it that. Sharp minor 7. Now you have a 2-5 to D. C major 7 again. And then the ostinato thing. Yeah, so that's funny. As I'm doing a video, I'm like, oh, that's what's going on. You know, before each A section, if you think of it as like 12, 12, I mean, whatever the bridge is, I guess it's kind of 8 bars if you think of that 5 part as being in 5/4. So it's kind of 12, 12, 8, 12. And each of the 12 bar sections ends with that 4 bar, it's a 2 bar ostinato twice, with a C major 7 before it, and there's just various approaches to that C major 7. And then, you know, Herbie blows on it a little bit. Glasper, kind of those versions that I was checking out, plays the most sort of like traditional, you know, improvised solo on the form. But that's what I was trying to do. That's what took me so long, doing take after take. But if you think about it, you know, it's kind of G Lydian, you know. I don't really put that G sharp in there on the solo. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just playing pentatonics, you know. B minor pentatonic on the G, or even like F sharp minor pentatonic on both the G major 7 and the F sharp. And the C major 7, that's Lydian too. You can kind of make it B minor 7, B minor pentatonic. And so then this series of chords, we have B major 7, G major 7, E major 7, C major, E. Those 4 chords, B major 7, G major 7, E major 7, C major 7, with F sharp in the top and all of them, so it's kind of like B major 7, G major 7, E major 7, C major 7, sharp 11. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to treat that, especially like improvising over the ostinato as well, which is so the chords come in at interesting beats. And I think what I settled on through all the takes of the song is kind of like B major triad kind of sound, B minor triad, B major triad, B minor triad. So kind of gave me what I was looking for, because the upper structure, you know, obviously the B major chord, a B major triad, the G major 7 is like B minor with G in the bass. E major 7, you can go back to B major with E in the bass. C major 7 is sharp 11, can be B minor with C in the bass. And I found that gave me the right notes I was looking for, and also sometimes trying to find some pitches that work on all 4 of those chords. Like for instance, there's this little 3-note thing that I like to play sometimes, where you have like just a B, E, F sharp. Little collections of notes that work over all the chords. Or really, if you're, again, you know, whenever you get sick of dealing with all the harmony on the song. Well, this one doesn't have as much as Anna Maria, as much specificity in the sort of modalities of it, but you can always just play the blues, play B blues when you get to this part. Kind of B minor pentatonic is close enough for most of the chords, you know, given that the melody is so bluesy as well. So then your bridge, you got B7 sus, A7 sus. You know what those chords? To me, like I tell my students, talking about you know, modes, and that to me Mixolydian is really that sound on those Herbie songs where you have a dominant 7 sus chord. So I definitely play. I don't avoid a major third just because it's a sus chord. To me, it's kind of like a chord that has the third and the perfect fourth in it. Kind of like the maiden voyage chords, you know. Same vibe there. So B7 sus, playing E mixolydian. A7 sus, I'm playing A mixolydian. And this G sharp minor 7, I guess I'm kind of playing it. I don't know if I play an E natural or an E sharp. I don't know if I don't know. I'll have to get back to me on that one, but it's definitely like I feel like it's the G sharp has got a ninth, like an A sharp. Then a G major 7, sharp 11, or sorry, E minor 7. Same deal, E Dorian. Then you have this. You gotta suddenly switch to 5/8. And luckily I have a fair amount of experience with 5 at least. So I can just play. I treat all those chords as like Dorian sounds, you know. D flat minor 11, just a parallel harmonic structure moving up. D flat minor 11, E flat minor 11, E minor 11, F sharp minor 11. Then we got the last A, G sharp major 7 sharp 11 again to F sharp minor 7, then a 2/5 to D. You know, I realized I kind of skipped the second A, didn't I? But I'll go back to the second A. When you have after the bridge, you have a 2/5 in D major, then a C major 7, sharp 11. So that's not that bad. You know, 2/5 to D, C major 7 going to B, then you have that ostinato again. So yeah, somehow I got excuse me, I got discombobulated there and went from the first A to the bridge. So the second A starts with a 2/5 in E. Then you have this E7 sharp 9 to E flat 7 sharp 9 to D major 7. And so I try not to always like play on those chords so literally, you know. That's one of those sort of booby traps for me in my my improvising and my psychology. Like sometimes if I see a chord, and that was something about when I was doing so many takes of this song, it's like I knew the chords were coming and I wanted to hit all of them, and then I'd listen back and I was like, why did you play that chord? You know, that was the place to just either generalize or just chill and not feel like you have to show that you can play every chord. And I've outgrown that to a significant extent, but it's still there, y'all. It's part of me that I have to deal with now and again. But so, and to me, the E flat 7 sharp 9 going to D, I wouldn't think of that as like an E flat 7 sharp 9 super Locrian. Like I'm not going to go and play E melodic minor or anything like that. I kind of just think of it as like an A7, really. I guess there's an E flat in it to a certain extent, but I don't even necessarily play that. Or I'm thinking more triadically. I might just play like an E flat dominant 7 or an A dominant 7. But I think in most places I'm going, I get to the E major. That's the sort of shape or grip that I'm getting for the E flat 7 and then D major 7. Then you have a C sharp 7 sharp 9, which I do think, if you want, you can make more of like a super Locrian jazz school sound. So D melodic minor, or just like kind of you could play C sharp augmented to C major 7, sharp 11 to the ostinato again. So yeah, so again that second A. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I've been playing this tune with students lately, and I'm going to put it in my improv syllabus, I think, pretty soon, because it's a force to be reckoned with, y'all, and there's so many subtleties of harmony, but it's also real groovy, and yeah, it's Herbie. You know, he throws the curveballs at us, still doing it, been doing it for years. So I'm going to play a chorus on this song, and I hope you all enjoy it. Tell me a bedtime story.